Okay, we're leaving ebb tide. Beautiful little Florida getaway.
Hello.
And here we go, heading down to the downtown area of metropolitan Cedar Key. This is our host and driver, Eric Freeman. What's the population here?
About 900. And then on the weekends, it's about 3,800.
So this is definitely a getaway place. A lot of folks come over from Gainesville, which is an hour east, directly east. One road in here.
Yeah.
And it's Cedar Key's a kind of a group of islands that are like 3 to 4 miles off the mainland. You kind of bridge hop and island hop out here, and this is where people live out here on Cedar Key. This took a big hit from Helene back in October. Really kind of horrible situation here. A lot of homes were completely torn apart, completely missing, gone. Water came in downtown area about 10 feet, completely underwater there. And they're just rebuilding right now, trying to get back, and they know this is Hurricane Alley here, and this is part of living here. It's the risk. Here's the high school. Cedar Key Sharks.
First through 12.
Yep. It's a little bit more comfortable today. It's still warm, but nothing like it has been. It's just been stifling hot. And kind of decided to stay here a few days because it was just too doggone hot to be on the motorcycle. The day I came in, it was feels like 115 on the bike, and 80% humidity and 101, 102 on the bike thermometer. So I mean, it was just miserable. It's hard to be out on the bike. Lots of stops, lots of drinking, water, Gatorade, Cokes, anything just to keep from being dehydrated. So we come down here to the water level, or very close to it. You'll start to see more damage that was done here with Helene. Here's a place for sale. Looks like they've had enough of it. Water came up here and there was a bunch of cabins right here. They're gone, completely washed away. This next apartment complex, all of the downstairs was completely ruined, had to be rebuilt. You can see some houses here that have that meet the new code, which is 15 feet up on posts, minimum of 15 feet. Here was an old hotel on the corner here, great spot in the town. All of those downstairs units washed away, gone. They're probably going to tear this thing down. Here's another, take a look at another one of the islands here.
That's Ceniota. Where we live here is called Waikiki.
So all of this right here was underwater. We'll do a quick once around on the dock out there. Show you some of the damage there, but you can see that there are homes here that were gone and not rebuilt. Here's the house right there, still tilted on its foundation, but clearly That's going to be torn down. There was one next door, gone, completely gone. This was
They couldn't find these houses here.
yeah, these houses were gone and they couldn't find them. They were just torn apart. Here's a lab station for the University of Florida. Whole downstairs was torn out of that. They're rebuilding. You can imagine these places here.
9 foot of water.
9 foot of water through here, so the fire station underwater. We'll take a right here and cross the channel and go out to the dock area. This is where the restaurants are. This is what people come over for, is to sit in the restaurant, look out over the Gulf. And the problem is some of these restaurants are now gone due to the hurricane. Used to be a restaurant right here on those posts. There was a fire here just a couple days before the hurricane. A horrible fire that took out some restaurants and stores here. That's still yet to be torn down and rebuilt. Other places here were underwater. All this was underwater. There's a place now that's back open, Harbor Master. You can see some of the damage here has not been cleaned up or fixed yet. Give you an idea of the power of the hurricane. There's a restaurant over here on the left, gone, completely gone, washed away. There's some condos straight ahead there. There was a very nice restaurant, popular restaurant on the ground floor there, which is now open, and they had just rebuilt that place from the previous hurricane and was getting ready to reopen it when Helene hit, took everything out. You were here when it happened, right here?
Yeah.
And you got out of town like most everybody.
Yep. Went to Gainesville and then rode it out, and then from Gainesville came back in.
Must have been a shock to see the downtown.
Yeah, it was. The devastation was, some of the areas you couldn't even recognize.
Yeah. This is a very historic main drag of Cedar Key. This is sort of the high point here. Still water damage through all of these buildings. Post office still being rebuilt. Here's the famous Island Hotel. It's back open, in business. Here's an old building that has not been rebuilt. The history here. Here's the post office on the left, still being rebuilt. They have a part-time post office truck here now while they're rebuilding. All of this underwater, 9-10 feet right here. All these buildings. This was the lone grocery store here. And when Helene hit, the whole side of it collapsed and just was inundated with water, 9 feet. You can see the wall here where there was no wall during the hurricane. That came out, and that was the end of it. There's still no grocery store in Cedar Key. They have to go to Chiefland or Gainesville. clamming is the big thing now here. A lot of money to be made in the clamming business. Here's some traps. This is a low water area here. So again, if you build now, you have to have, the house has to set up on 15 feet of posts. Minimum of 15 feet. Used to be less, but now with Helene, it's pretty obvious that there has to be a higher point to build the home itself. So there's the Gulf out there. A lot of folks drive around here. All of the locals have golf carts. So the golf carts are allowed. You can't get on the state highway, but you can go through the town completely, and most everybody drives electric golf carts.
If you get it registered, you can. This one's registered, so I can take it on State Road 24. But it's optional.
All right.
We'll go up here and past and go down some of the homes down through there.
These buildings up here, this is the high point. These were dry. All of these are dry. So when they build homes out here, Eric, what do they have to do to make them as hurricane proof as possible?
Well, you have an option. You either have to have hurricane shutters, or you can have hurricane grade windows for impact. And then they have to build them up. But some of these, like concrete houses, you see concrete block, they fill them with concrete or crushed shells to reinforce them, and they've become extremely sturdy.
You're talking about the posts that they sit on?
Yep. The posts themselves, or even the concrete block houses, when you see the block house,
Oh, I see.
they fill those up so they're not hollow.
I see.
And getting crushed shells around through here is actually pretty easy.
When our dad built Eptide, he overdid everything, didn't he? I mean, he was, being the perfectionist he was, he made sure that that thing was going nowhere, no matter how strong the...
Yeah, everything's strapped down, and there are no 2x4s. They're 2x6s strapped down, roofs strapped down.
And it survived Helene. It was still had a couple of feet, right, before we got up to the house.
Yeah, we're at 16 feet, and it was at 10 foot, or right around 10, which took it up to the garage, but not up towards the house.
Yeah.
What was hard about Helene is it came in at two different angles. When it originally came in, it was one direction, and then as it passed and went up to North Carolina, we got the second surge direction of it on that counterclockwise spin.
Yeah, on the backside, yeah. And that did a lot of damage that second time through. Talk a little bit about the right before the storm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's kind of a scary situation when the state police comes in, the highway patrol. They brought about 20 officers in, and they went door to door to see who was going to stay and who was going to go. Even though it's a mandatory evacuation, they can't force you to go. But then I waited till the last minute, and you could see the clouds rolling in, and it was extremely calm. It was eerie calm, and you could just sense it. The birds stopped flying around. It was, you could tell something major was coming in, and so it's cool in a way, but it's also very scary, because now you start to realize what Mother Nature can do.
Yep. They're raising these buildings. You can see they've raised one up. These other two next to it are being raised as well for the next time. And there will be a next time. It's interesting how people manage the risk here. They accept the risk, you know, to live here, to have this lifestyle.
Dad summed it up the best. It's the price you pay for living in paradise.
Yeah.
And the best way to describe Cedar Key is it's like Key West back in the early 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Rustic, eccentric.
No doubt it's a cool little community with a lot of history. Well, thank you for the tour around town. And this place, they talk about sticking together. This community, they were out the very next day cleaning the yards, cleaning their neighbors' yards. I mean, it was amazing how they stick together here when these storms come through.
They refer to it as Cedar Key Strong.
Yep. All right, so that's our quick overview of Cedar Key, Florida.